morning from Mighty Trask High School. Happy Monday from Seaport. Happy Monday from Wake Forest.
I love to check something off a list.
Yes, that sense of accomplishment, I did that.
It's huge.
Yes.
Sometimes I write down things I've already done just so I can check it off.
I've been known to put things down like eat lunch. Yes.
I am an advisor, however, I also wear a newbie hat too because this is my first year as an advisor. That's been really the most useful thing for me is the organization.
I think the first thing that we set up is a mentor-mentee system to where all of our old staffers are assigned 1 or 2 new staffers, and so they help them learn the ropes of the yearbook.
Every Monday we go over what each person in the group is going to do that week, and we have a little log that they fill out.
We made a planner for all school activities this year, which has all sports events on that.
Once you've created it for one thing, you can just adapt it for what you need. So, for example, signing up for a sport, we just modify it for each season.
I put everything in my notes app, and I would share it to them, and we all could keep everything organized.
If everybody could just have this present with them at all times when we're working this next week.
I'm a big believer in checklists, and so having different levels, different sets of eyes looking at stuff, so it's not just us, makes a huge difference.
When you are able to check it off instead of just completely deleting it, then if something happened, you still have it up here even though you just checked it off. This is also a really good idea instead of writing it down, because paper can get lost and you can share it with everybody else instead of having to write it on a piece of paper more than once.
It sends you notifications when someone updates it. So
it does do that. It lets you know who changed it and what changes were made.
So you guys can keep track of them and what they're doing and if they're doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Correct. They know what they need to get done. Instead of saying they lost the paper, it's still there, so they can just realize that they have work to do.
On Fridays, we bring the whole group over and we go to our big computer and we kind of review the page with them.
We've got our main deadlines, but it's almost like within each of those larger deadlines, we have all of the mini deadlines.
So this is the fall sports criteria that we use for our pages, and we have different deadlines. So setting up, for example, a contact person, we have deadlines for the interviews, when we need pictures.
Really, those mini deadlines, those are the ones that get us to those big deadlines that are really, really important. Organizing each day down to bullet points, transferring that to the students so then they can start meeting those mini deadlines in their efforts to meet those big, scary deadlines that don't have to be so scary if you just meet the mini ones.
If you do it right, there's very little for you to do at the end.
You really need to get to know your staff and figure out what their strengths and weaknesses are.
Before things are due, we walk around and I'll sit with each person and we'll print out the spread and we'll sit down and we'll talk about it and we'll highlight things, and it's very hands-on and interactive.
We're trying to be as aware as we can be and try to be as much help as we can be with our staff members and making them feel like they do have a support system.
We just always check in with our groups twice a week to see how everything is moving, and if they're having issues, they can come to us.
This year we moved the table to the front of the room, so now we're facing the whole class. So when a hand pops up, it's so much easier to answer questions, and there's a lot more communication between the staffers and the editors, which I think is really great for building bonds and getting more stuff done in the classroom.
They show us that, they're human. They don't act like all powerful and like they know everything. They're willing to work with us and have some grace if that's what we need.
I don't think they're all about it, so excited that we're always on them. But I think they really do like the support. We really do talk highly to our staff members, so whenever they do something, we try and kind of give them good job, we're really proud to try to say that more, so that when we do have to let them down sometimes with certain things, they always remember that we try to bring them up for every achievement that they do.
This is a pretty fun class, and you can talk about how your day went. We have the famous chair.
If you're having a bad day or just want to talk, or just sit down
up here and just take a minute and we can kind of talk it out. Just take a load off. Take a load on.
Pangea and the panda.
This is Pangea. Madison, one of my editors-in-chief last year, named Pangea.
Yearbook is not necessarily a class. It feels like more like a sports team. I feel like we're all like very close. We all talk a lot, and it just feels more like our family, like our little yearbook babies.
We all have buddies throughout the year. It's like a secret Santa type.
I was about to say, but do we know our buddies?
We don't. It is a secret. But on your birthday and different things, we'll put little gifts on your desk, so it can be a little sweet thing to come in through the yearbook. And we have some different secret parties to make it fun, and everyone gets to know each other more.
Shh, don't tell.
We do love parties. Usually every holiday we do a little party and we watch movies and people will bring in food, and it's just like a good way to just talk and kind of take a break.
Last thing we do on Fridays is we all write something down. Just somebody type something nice in a yearbook context for you, or just somebody excelling. Like somebody did something good that you noticed. All right, so this one just says thank you, Nizzy, for the pretzels. Yeah.
Oh, good. You're the best pretzels.
This one feels passive aggressive. This says Mr. Stapleton has good patience.
I think I wrote that one.
Did you mean it?
Alright, this one says, Will, aka Video, it's my pet name for Will. Will saved me from an SD cardless life. Thank you.
Birthdays usually involve singing. We tried to sing last year, it wasn't cute, so we've just started yelling happy birthday, and it's a good way to both get out frustration and celebrate. You know, you close the door, count of 3, happy birthday, it's fantastic.
It is IU's birthday today, alright? We know what happens. On the count of 3, okay? You ready? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday!
I think that does somehow bring us all together, just with the craziness.